profession, he is cardiologist, the great scholar of Gita, knows 700 shlokas by heart, and he has written a book on Bhagavad Gita also. And for the Samaj members, he conducted 3 sessions of teaching of Bhagavad Gita, and now is ready for another session. Please join us. Whoever wants to join that Gita session can call us and send us email on teaching of Bhagavad Gita. In addition to all voluntary service he provides to Samaj, he is a very generous financial supporter also in the Samaj. He is truly a role model citizen. Without further ado, I request Dr. Chokshi to give us a talk on Lord Krishna. Please unmute Dr. Chokshi and give us a talk. Thank you.
Namaste everyone.
Yeah, namaste. Dr. Chokshi.
Today's talk is on Lord Krishna, a very vast topic. We will try to see what we can include and his teachings in this next few minutes. On September 11th in 1893, Swami Vivekananda came to Chicago for the World Conference, and in that conference he introduced our Sanatana Dharma, stating one of the slokas from our old scriptures. And Swamiji said, Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskara keshvam prati gacchati. We in Sanatana Dharma, which is a collection of spiritual truths, also known as Vedas, just simply knowledge, and so that the knowledge comes from Lord Krishna, the 8th avatar of Lord Vishnu. The Lord Krishna is incarnation, the 8th incarnation is a complete incarnation in which he included all the different qualities, different facets that touch our lives. He demonstrated during his life the friendship, love, politics, dharma, niti, and many more different aspects, and he lived and demonstrated that. Lord Krishna incarnated in this world in a human form on July 18th, according to the scriptures, in the year 3228 BC. During his life, which was very, very eventful, starting from the life, from the birth to his last day, he lived to the befitting all the circumstances, befitting a greatest yogi, and always smiling, facing all these different events in life with a smiling face and without any attachment. The Lord Krishna's life is very completely described in our Puranas, in Bhagavad Purana, consisting of 18,000 slokas. He is a central figure in Mahabharata, which is the longest epic, Ityasa, that is 100,000 slokas. And the greatest contribution the Lord Krishna wanted to gave to the mankind was in the form of Bhagavad Gita, which is 700 verses, which he presented to Arjuna in the most difficult circumstances. These 700 slokas, that is the teaching of Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna gave theory, and he lived this all the virtues that we can have by understanding Bhagavad Gita. So some of the masters and teachers, they think that the main purpose of incarnation of Lord Krishna on this planet was to give Bhagavad Gita in theory, as well as to demonstrate how you can live all those spiritual truths. We are very busy people, and God has very simply summarized that do whatever you have to do, but do with humility, devotion, love and compassion. We have stated this before. And being a cardiologist, I made an acronym out of this, that is HDLC. If you want to live a very long life, have your cholesterol, very good cholesterol high. If you want to live a very purposeful, fulfilling life, then follow these 4 steps. HDLC, which is a humility, devotion, love and compassion. If you do this, nothing can go wrong. Everything that you desire will follow. At the same time, the Lord tells us simply, just very brief teaching, that don't do anything with leg. That is also acronym. Do it with your hands. So don't do it with legs. So don't do it with lust, ego, envy and greed. So Bhagavad Gita, whole Bhagavad Gita teachings we can broadly divide into do's and don'ts. So first 4 are do's, these 4 you avoid this. If you avoid ego, envy, lust and greed, then everything will be in your favor. Now let us examine these greatest teaching. We remember any great person because of their thinking, their teachings and the life they lived. And God demonstrated it to the point in the worst of the circumstances. And He established dharma when it was necessary. He demonstrated he had to get rid of very evil element from the world. So He was not hesitant in that. So whatever was necessary was done. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that all your troubles, or us, the mankind, are because of our erroneous knowledge. We all have knowledge, but we have false knowledge and we are established in that. That erroneous knowledge, we are so established, that's why God had to give Bhagavad Gita, which is an essence of all Upanishads and Vedas. So He had to give the spiritual truth and He had to leave that to show us. So the first thing, the erroneous knowledge, is that we think we are this body, mind and intellect complex. God says, no, you are not. You are not a body, mind, intellect complex. You are a pure soul. You are an Atman. You are my spark. So the God says in 15th chapter, 7th sloka, that mame vanso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manasasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karsati. You are my part, my particle, mam eva ansha, jiva loke, in this world, jiva bhuta, in every being, jiva bhuta sanatana, not only human being, in every being, sanatana. This is eternal, everlasting element, that is our Atman. So, mame vanso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manasasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karsati. And mind with the 6th sense, 5 senses plus mind. Manasasthani indriyani, with senses, prakriti sthani karsati. It interacts with the prakriti. And this is explained, whole chapter is there. And then God says, Rusha prakriti stho hi bhunkate prakritir jan guna karanam guna sangovasya sad asad yoni janmasu. So Purusha means our individual soul. Purusha prakriti stho hi. Prakriti means body. Everything else besides Atman is prakriti. So this gross body, subtle body, it is prakriti. So Purusha prakriti stho hi means entering into this body. Prakriti stho hi bhunkate prakritir jan guna karanam guna sangovasya sad asad yoni janmasu. And because of this attachment of the soul with the different gunas of prakriti, which is rajas, sattva, tamas, these gunas, that is the reason for your birth. In good yoni, bad yoni, in good circumstances, bad circumstances. So Purusha, that God wants us to have very clear knowledge. Prakriti, Purusha prakriti stho hi bhunkate prakriti jan guna karanam guna sangovasya sad asad yoni janmasu. So God wants us to have that knowledge. And attachment will create problem. If there is no attachment, there will be no problem. So this is stated in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, that Prakritim Purusham So that is Prakriti Purusha Vidhi Anadi Bhava. Vikaranscha Gunasya Vidhi Prakriti Sambhava. So then, so God doesn't want us to get attached to the different gunas. Again he explains so that I reside in you. So in 15th chapter, 15:15, Sarvasya Chaham Rudi Sannivisto Matha Smrutirgnan Matapohanam Cha Vedaischa Sarve Rahameva Vidyo Vedant Krudveda Viveda Chaham. Here God says that I am the author of Vedas. So Sarvasya Chaham, in everyone, Sarvasya Chaham Rudi Sannivisto. I am seated in the heart of every being. Matah Smrutirgnana Matpohanam. Because of me is your memory. Because of me it is your ability to forget the bad events in the life, and I delete them. That is me. Sarvasya Chaham Rudi Sannivisto Matah Smrutirgnana Matpohanam. Vedaischa Sarve Rahameva Vedyo Vedant Krudveda Vivedacha. Through the Vedas, I am the one to be known. Vedant Krud, I am the author. Vedant Krud Veda Videvacham. And through that, I am to be known. I am the author of Vedas and I am the knower of Vedas. So here God clearly explains to us. So how do you realize that I am sitting? God is sitting in us. So he gives a very simple technique. He says that give up your mind and intellect to me. So God says in 12th chapter, 12:8, Mai eva man agatsva, Mai buddhim nivesaya, nivasisyasi mai evam ata urdhvam asansaya. So give up your mind, put your mind. Mai eva man adatsva means fix your mind on me. Mai eva man adatsva. Mai buddhim, and give me your buddhi also. Mai buddhim nivesha, establish your buddhi in me. Then what will happen? Nivasisyasi mai evam. Then you will live in me, with me. Nivasisyasi mai evam ata urdhvam asansaya. Starting from now, from today, you will start living in me. There is no doubt about it. So this is a very profound teaching of Lord Krishna. Mayeva manadatsva may buddhim nivesaya nivasisyasi mayeva ata urdhvam asansaya. Then he gives different other choices. Then another erroneous knowledge we have is thinking that we are the doers. God says, no, you are not the doer. He tells that in Bhagavad Gita in the beginning on 327 sloka. Prakrute kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasa ahankar vimudatma kartamiti manyate. Because of the Prakriti and its gunas, which we are part of it, interacting with these gunas within us and without outside of us, results in activities. Prakrute kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasa. Ahankar vimudatma kartamiti manyate. But a man with ego thinks that he is the doer. So what should be? That's why God wants us to get rid of that ahankara. If that goes away, you are fine. So then he immediately says, Tattvavitu mahabaho gunakarma vibhagayo guna gunesu vartante iti matva na sajjate. But the man of true knowledge, tattvavit, tattva means tat means God, tattvavitu mahabaho, Arjuna, tattvavitu mahabaho gunakarma vibhagayo guna gunesu vartante iti matva na sajjate. The man, the knower of the truth, the highest truth, which God wants us to know, does not get entangled. He knows that the gunas are interacting. I am just a witness. I am a pure soul which has attained this body, which is like a winter coat. But I am not mind. I am not intellect. I am not doing it. So he just becomes a witness. That God wants us to cultivate. That's called witness bhav or sakshi bhav in Vedanta. It is known as kevalya bhav in Sankhya system. Kevalya means nothing else. Atman, me, Atman only. Kevalya, I am only alone. Aloneness. Kevalya. Buddha also, Lord Buddha also emphasized on that, and that is his main teaching. So this was one of the very, very major thing, that we are not the doers. We are just we are assuming the responsibility that I am the doer. God says, if you are the doer, you are sufferer also. You will have to suffer the good or bad of when the agency comes. If the agency is not there, you won't have any suffering. So another teaching of Lord Krishna, which is of great importance, is do everything in moderation. Then you won't go wrong. That he describes in 6th chapter, 6:17. So that is yuktahara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapna avabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Do everything in moderation, nothing in extreme, no extreme fasting, no extreme eating. The yukta ahar, vihar means in recreation also, yukta ahar viharasya. Yukta chestasya karmasu. In doing your activities which I have assigned you, that also should be in moderation. Yukta chestasya. Yukta swapna avabodhasya means time to go to bed, time to get up, everything in order like a yogi. Yogo bhavati dukkhaha. And these yogic style of life will delete all your dukkhas. That God wants us to remember. Then comes the greatest teaching, that our erroneous idea and erroneous understanding is that we are in control of the fruit. So I can do this and I will do it. God says, okay, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भुर् मा ते संगोत्स्व कर्मणि. If you separate it out, karmani adhikar aste, your right is only on karma. Karmani adhikar aste. Ma phalesu kadachan, never on the fruit of action. That is my territory. Ma phalesu kadachan. Ma karma phal heturbhur ma te sangotsva karmani. At the same time, I don't want you to be lusty, running after the fruits, and I don't want you to be without any action. Ma te sangotsva karmani. And I hope that you don't get attached to inaction. So do action to your fullest. That's what Lord Krishna did in his life, without expecting anything. So how do you do that? So God gives the answer. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhi siddho samo bhutva samatvam yoguchyate. So God suggests and shows the path. That okay, Yogastha, established in yoga. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, giving up the attachment. Sangam tyaktva. Siddhi siddho samo bhutva. Siddhi or asiddhi. Siddhi siddho samo bhutva, being equal mind in both. Siddhi siddho samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. And that equanimity of mind is called yoga. So this is his very profound teaching. Great Swamis have given hours of lecture as an explanation on this truth, but it is important that we understand this truth and we try to put it in our life. Now God reminds us his relation and our relation. So what he is to this world and what he is to us. So he says, Pitamasya jagato Mata dhata pitamaha vedyam pavitra omakara rukka samya jurevacha. I am the father of this universe, I am the mother of this universe, you are my children. Pita amasya jagato, mata dhata, maintainer, dhata, pitamaha, grandfather, pitamaha. Vedyam pavitra omakara rukka samya jurevacha. All these three Vedas, that is Pitamasya Jago Mata Dharta Pita. Vidyam Pavitra Omkara Rukka Samya Jurevacha. Then he says, Gatir Bharta Prabhu Saksi Nivasa Saranam Sruhat Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidanam Bijam Avayam. Gati means I am your goal. We forgot that. And so God reminds us, Gatir Bharta, I am your maintainer. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Saksi, I am your witness. Saksi Nivasa Saranam, I am your shelter. Saranam Sruhat, I am your friend. Saranam Sruhat. Prabhava, I am the reason for your origin. Prabhava. Pralaya, I am the responsible for your death also. Prabhava, Pralaya. Sthanam, Nidanam, storehouse. Nidanam is Bijam, avayam. So everything is me. You are part of me. We are related. I am with you all the time. So Atma and Paramatma go together all the time, and he is the witness and he is the record keeper of all our activity. So how do you realize this? And then God says, okay. So very important sloka he said. There are 700, so we just going through few of them. Then God gives a very easy way. He says, Ananya cheta satatam yo mam smrati nityasa tasya aham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yogi. Nowhere else it is written that I am very easy to attain. But here God says in the 8th chapter, 8:14, he says, there's a, as I said, Ananya Cheta Satatam, with our mind always in me. Ananya Cheta Satatam means constant. Satatam. Yo mam smrati nityasaha tasya aham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yogina. For such a man, I am very easy to get. So God wants us to have the God consciousness instead of worldly consciousness. At the moment we are living in worldly consciousness. God says that you live it in godly consciousness. In the background, the God is there. Like you are doing a scientific research, but at the back of that there is a nice sitar music is going on, but the mind is in his research. So similarly, do everything in the world, but with the background of divinity. If you do this, then I'm very easy to attain to me. And then he says, I give you so many difficult teachings. Now he says that in 1866, which is called a Charma Sloka, he says that Sarvadharman Paritajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshayasmi Mahasucha. Arjuna, I told you everything, but these are all the paths and all the techniques. So Sarvadharman Paritajya, give up all these things. Sarvadharman Paritajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, only to my shelter you come. Mamekam Sharanam. Aham Tvam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshayasmi Mahasucha. I will liberate you from every trouble. So these are the major teachings of Lord Krishna, which he gave it in Bhagavad Gita, and he lived according to Gita, very eventful life, and that's why we celebrate him. After 5,000 years, millions of people are here. Thank you. If you have questions,
Thank you, Dr. Joshi, such an enlightening educational lecture to talk about Lord Krishna. We still have a lot to learn. And Dr. Chokshi will be available for question and answer after Aarti. Now we'll proceed with the next segment, the bhajans. And I'll request Neena ji, please unmute and give us a bhajan. And after Neena ji, Veena, then Shraddha. And I think next I have...